If you're selling AI and automations and you're having a difficult time selecting what industry to sell to and or what automation to sell to these industries, I'm going to show you two different methods that are going to help you out, and you can start using them today. This is going to be a very simple video, but you should know this if you are selling automations or any type of other service, just to start testing out some different industries and different niches that you're going to start selling your offers to. So method number one, this is a method you're going to use if you don't have any industry expertise already. So, if you're selling to a contracting business or you're selling to like a dentist or a lawyer, if you have expertise in that industry already, then you should go for that because they're going to choose you over other people. But if you don't and you have experience in something else that maybe you can't offer automations to or these type of services, you can start going through these industries with this method here. So method number one, step number one, build out automations that work for multiple industries. So typically you want to build something that generates revenue, automated lead generation, speed to lead re-engagement. Now the reason I say this is because if you're going to offer your services to somebody or a business, they're more focused on ROI, right? They want to see a return on their investment. They want to make money. And so they're going to pick you if you can actually bring money to their business. So I would choose one of these. Obviously, there's other automations that you can build and sell. I just find these are the ones that work best, especially when you are just getting started. Now, step number two is to pick an industry and test. And so with that being said, everybody can use, a speed to lead system. Like a lot of businesses could use this whenever they get an incoming lead. You just send an automation that automatically follows up with that lead, and then they don't have to do that manually. If they are, oftentimes they won't be doing it fast enough, and so they're losing money, and that's how you could position yourself or position your automation to them. Now, once you have an automation that works for multiple different industries, you're going to pick an industry and test. Okay, and so you're not just going to pick one. You're going to test three to five different automation services per industry. So let's say you pick three different industries, right? You pick law, dental. What else could we pick? You could pick like a service or an auto shop or something. So you're going to pick those different industries. You're going to have like a speed to lead system, and then you're going to start outreaching to these different niches and different industries. And we're going to test and see which one we get the most positive reinforcement from, positive feedback, and then we're going to go with that one. So let's go through some of these here. So start with one you have experience in, preferably. If not, that's okay. We're going to test them out anyways. Focus on high value, repeatable processes. Target industries with clear pain points. Look for businesses that already use some automation. And so, it's going to be easy to sell them if they already know the value of automation and the time they're going to be saving. And focus on businesses with 10 to 50 employees. The businesses that have more money are more likely going to invest in automation because they know the value and they know the time they're going to save. If not, you could also just work with clients, who have, maybe they don't even have employees. Maybe it's just them and they want an automation. That's completely fine. But step number one, build automations that work for multiple industries. So maybe select one, and then we're going to start reaching out to multiple different industries. And so this is just an overview of what we went over. Businesses want systems that provide them an ROI. Focus on these first. The key insight here is you're not just testing one automation across industries or multiple automations in one industry. You're doing both systematically to find the highest converting combination of service plus market fit. So we're going to take our automation and then we're going to test it against multiple different industries. Simple as that, but that is how you're going to find what works best for your offer. And I know I repeated myself a ton of times there, and I just want to get that through your head and make sure you understand method number one, because if you don't have experience in an industry, this is probably going to be the one you're going to use, okay? Now, method number two is using your industry expertise. So lean into your expertise to increase your chances. So for example, I help businesses get X result in Y time frame in this industry, and this is my experience and why you should choose me. Why industry expertise wins. It builds instant credibility and trust. You understand real pain points. You speak their language, okay? If you're working in the same industry as them, I said it before, but they're more likely going to go with you rather than somebody else. That's just the way it works. It's the formula that you're going to use. I help X industry, so whatever industry you have expertise in, businesses get this result in this time frame because I spent X amount of years in the industry and I got these amount of results. And so I understand your pain points and that is why I can help you. Here's some examples. So for healthcare, as a former practice manager, I know patient no-shows cost you $200 per slot. This is an automation I built for other businesses in the same industry, and I know I can help you too. Having run job sites for 8 years, I understand why project delays happen. Here's my offer, here's my service, and how I'm going to make you more money. Real estate, after 5 years as an agent, I know follow-up speed determines who gets the listing. So that speed to lead system that I was talking about before, that would work perfectly for real estate agents. And so if you can, save them that time, you take that task out of their hands and it's completely done for them and it's making them money. Real estate's a big one. They need speed to lead systems and also just automated CRMs as well. What not to do. So don't claim expertise if you don't have it, but if you do get results, it doesn't mean you had to work in the industry for 5 to 10 years. If you got results for an industry, you can kind of claim that, right? You can say, I got this amount of results. I wasn't in the industry completely, but I got these results within this industry. And so that's what makes me an expert on making this type of business money. Don't overgeneralize to unrelated industry. Rely on automation skills alone. Key insight: your automation skills are commoditized, and that is true. There are a lot of AI agencies coming out, and so what you want to do is actually provide, some sort of value other than, oh, I built this AI agent that's super technical, you don't understand it, but it's working in the background and it's not doing anything. Like we need these automations to be providing results for these companies. And your industry knowledge isn't commoditized, right? So like I was saying before, you have an advantage over the people who don't have experience in your specific industry that you've worked in before. So use that. This combination makes you irreplaceable. So use those to your advantage. That's how you're going to get ahead. So that is method 1. That is method 2. Why do this? I love all the orange. Why do this? Test for validation. And we don't want to waste any time. So we're going to test our automation against 10 different industries. Whatever one gives us the best feedback, we're going to start going for that one. And we're going to make money from it. We're going to scratch the other ones and go in on the ones that's working for us. And we don't want to waste time, right? If you build a super specific automation for an industry and you spend a month doing it, and then you send out a bunch of emails and cold calls and nobody needs your automation, it's a complete waste of time. We don't want that. So that's why we're going to select one that could work for multiple different niches, industries. We're not going to waste our time. We're going to see which one performs the best and we're going to run with it. And so these are the systems that you're going to test with. If you want the most instant response to find out whether your automation will actually provide a proper result for your industry that you're targeting, then cold calling is going to do that for you, right? Call 20 businesses a day and you're going to get the gist of whether, the automation that you built or you're thinking of building is even worth to continue with, right? So if you want that instant response, go with cold calling. I'm going to open this window here. I'm in the vehicle and I'm just boiling. The next you're going to do after cold calling is instantly or in email marketing. And so you're going to do what we were going through right here, which is the formula. So you're going to, have in your first line, sorry, not in your first line, but throughout the conversation, you're going to say, I do this, I get this result in this industry, this is who I am. Let's book a 10-minute call. Some sort of email marketing campaign like that. You're going to scrape a bunch of email addresses. You can also do this through LinkedIn. So you can send that type of message through a cold email marketing campaign through instantly. You can also do LinkedIn outreach, and obviously it'll be a shorter message, but you can kind of do the same thing and start outreaching through LinkedIn. All right, I need some sort of liquid here. I need some sort of liquid to continue. Okay, so need a large sample size. Don't give up after X amount of calls or emails. Run a proper test. So if you call 10 businesses and after that you get 0 positive feedback and you just say, screw it, I'm done. That was the industry. It's not for me. Well, that's probably not a large enough sample size. So what you want to do is set a larger number than that. Like, if you're doing cold calling. And so, if you're doing cold calling, cold emailing, for example, cold emailing, do a test of 1,000 to 2,000 emails, see if you get any positive responses from that, and go from there. You're not just going to send out 100 emails. You want a large sample size. Same with LinkedIn outreach, same with cold calling. Set different numbers for each, but pick a large sample size, pick at your discretion, whatever makes sense for you and your schedule and everything, but don't give up after such a small run. For example, set a time period of weeks to month, right? So you can test multiple different industries through instantly cold email marketing. Set a week or 2 weeks for each, and then find the most successful outcomes and feedback and run with that. So to end off this video, you're going to test broadly, measure rigorously, and then double down on what works. And what I really want you to focus on is double down on what works. Okay, not everything you're going to do and everybody you're going to reach out to is going to say yes to you, and as a matter of fact, most of them are going to say no to you. But if you just get that small percentage, you can be ahead of a lot of the people who are selling AI automations and just trying to do lead generation, right? So this is just a breakdown of testing multiple automation offers for different industries, as well as, using your expertise to offer your automation to these types of businesses. And so that has been me. My name is Jordan Lee. I don't have Wi-Fi, so I can't plug anything. I'm literally in the truck right now. And that is all for now. I will see you guys in the next video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. And also, leave any video suggestions down below and I will try to make them. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.